Mathias Modica from Gomma Records, Germany. I make music under the name of Munk. Maybe you know it. Hopefully you like it. I tell you what I hate most. I hate most finishing the stuff, you know. So I love most starting to do something, you know. When you have time, you don't have pressure. You just go for making music in the studio. You jam around with nothing, no pressure at all, you know. That's what I love most. The finding of ideas, you know. That's what I love most. Finishing is horrible because you have to make a final decision. You have to say, okay, that's the final version. And there's so many ways to finish something, you know. You change a little bit and it's going to be different. You change something more, it's going to be completely different. So that's it was a learning process of years. I mean, I have, I don't know, 2,500 unfinished songs at home, you know, after making music for 15 years or something. I have a thing going on which is, it concerns my music, but it concerns also the label that I own and I run. It's we want to make things that are undefinable. The target is always to create a new thing, you know. At least we want to find a new way, a new language, a new style or something, you know. And we do this by mixing up influences. And we try not to do something, like we don't want to follow fashions, for example, you know. Or we don't want to, disco is the word, or new rave is the word, or house, you know. So we don't want to make that. We want, if you say house is the trend now, let's say that. So we say, no, we don't want to make this. We want to find something which is beyond that. So I cannot define it. I like classical music. Yeah, classic composers from Germany, Russian music. I like Igor Stravinsky. Give your name, Igor Stravinsky. I love Igor Stravinsky. But I love also, I think I'm in Mexico, I have to say it. I have a huge collection of records from salsa and Latin America from the 70s. I love cumbia, I love descargas, the New York 70s salsa scene. I like Cuban music, I like Colombian music, and I like Mexican music. I was doing a club with a friend of mine 10 years ago in Munich, where I was living. It was called El Barrio. Nice. And there was a live band playing consisting of Cubans, Colombians, and we mixed that up. They were playing original stuff, and we were DJing afterwards disco and electronic stuff. And that already was the idea of mixing, you know, unmixable stuff, you know. So I got this stuff, and I swear to you, it's like this. I love Latin music, you know. It's not just like to be nice with you. So I got this in my not in my blood, but in my heart. No, it's finished. You can't hear it anymore. If I DJ, yes, people want me to play my own stuff, so I play it out. But sometimes, I hardly listen at home to my album. Maybe 3 years later, I listen to. 4 years later, I listened to an old album just to, I don't know, to understand what happened back then, you know. But I don't know. It's difficult to say, you know. As I told you, I make music intuitively, you know. It's come from inside. It's not like programmed. I want to make a song like that, but I go there and I make it. So it's always a development, you know. From the first to the second album, the second to the third, and the next one is going to sound differently again. The current album, the new one, The Bird and the Beat, there was one basic idea. I recorded it in, like, I think in 6 countries, you know, with 10 girls from, I think, 10 different countries singing on my tracks. I used 5 or 6 different languages. Basically it's English, but with Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese in it, and it's the basic idea is bringing together a lot of nationalities, you know, and that's what interested me here. But why it sounds like that and why it sounds different to the ones before, I cannot, you know. Yeah, I mean, there's one. I mean, every song has a certain story. There was a certain situation. But one track, maybe it's there's this single called La Musica, which is like was done in Rome in a completely, like, I mean, we were quite drunk and stuff, and it was completely ironic. I didn't even want to make it on a. Because it's cheesy, it's stupid. I took my voice, I pitched it down, I made very strange, stupid Italian words, and it was very ironic. I didn't want to even put it on the album, then I put it on the album, and it became, in UK, it's huge. A lot of DJs are playing that now. BBC Radio 1 was dropping it all the time, and Errol Alkan is playing. A lot of people, like, and for me that's crazy, you know? It's crazy, like, what the fuck? That was like made in 30 minutes as a joke. and then it becomes like the track that everybody plays, you know. Fatboy Slim is playing it, and we got a mail last week, you know, that he's dropping this tune, all that, you know, that's bizarre, you know, so that's funny. But I do in an album, hopefully I'm recording stuff with two guys who normally they work for Stones Throw Records, the San Francisco hip hop label, LA, and they are funk musicians, and we've been in the studio for 1 week recording stuff. I play the grand piano, they play double bass and jazz drums, and I recorded with them for 1 week in a studio, and now I'm cutting and reworking that stuff, playing a lot of old vintage synthes on that stuff, and making something like a, I don't know, weird soundtrack of a non-existing film out of that, you know. And musically I cannot describe it, but it's something completely different. It's not danceable, it's not electronic music. That's what I'm currently doing. Always listen to music, different kinds of music, all the time listening to music, also the stuff that you don't like, and always try to follow the weird guys and not the guys who had the biggest success, you know. The weird guys are always the most interesting. Frank Zappa, #1, Igor Stravinsky, whatever. The guys who were a little bit like more off, these are the ones who are interesting, and these are the ones who are gonna last.